So I have my, in case you're like, what is going on? I have my knees tucked in to my sweater. So I'm really trying to make my videos like concise and clear. So I'm really gonna try to keep my head on like my brain on track and my speech on track. I really want to watch this Aldous Harding video. It just came out 8 hours ago. I'm so excited, but I gotta make this video. So, I led a very isolated life before November of 2018. I had never had sex. I only had one friend. Never kissed anybody. After that, I started dating. I got dumped. Became the whore of Babylon. Also met a lot of like friendly people. Like I started going to bars and just like meeting and talking to people. Um, and then um, so my social anxiety had like went way down. Like it used to be that I couldn't really talk to people. Um, Definitely couldn't date anybody, definitely couldn't have sex with anybody. I didn't like shaking hands. I didn't like hugging people. I just didn't like being close to people. I barely liked talking. I and I hated my body, which I think is a big part of me, it was a big part of social anxiety for me in the past. So then in November and December, before that I had a little bit of disordered eating, so I lost like 10 pounds, and then I lost a little bit more when I started working out. And working out is really good for you for um, social anxiety because a lot of us, we just feel uncomfortable with being alive when it's a very severe case of anxiety and social anxiety. You're just like, I want to fucking crawl out of my skin right now. And when you work out and you feel like you're at a good weight, which if you have an eating disorder or like body dysmorphia, that will never happen for you unless you heal that. But if you just kind of generally, like I was just slightly overweight. I was 5'5" and about 145 pounds. And now I'm 5'5" and like between 130 and 132. So I'm still not very thin, but I'm not like overweight. So when you feel so uncomfortable in your body, it really helps to build muscle because you just feel, especially I think if you do HIIT workouts, it's kind of your whole body working in unison. You'll just feel how connected everything is. After a few months, I think it's because I'm young and because of my genetics, I built muscle very quickly in my arms and my legs. It feels different just to walk. Um, I just feel very stable, and it sounds silly, but like my quads are and like my hamstrings are fucking insane. They're like steel cords, man. And um my arms are very muscular. I can't so I work out my left arm more because it's so much smaller than my right arm naturally, but the muscle just gets really hard. It doesn't get as big as the muscle in my right arm. So, I don't know, but you feel so powerful and confident after you do like a really great strength workout. And you just feel so alive. And like that's what your body was made for, honestly. Your body, like you were born to run. Like we were born to, I don't really run because I have asthma and I smoke cigarettes and I'm a fat bitch. So I don't really run, but we were born to move. Like that's what humans were made to do. And it feels so good once you realize that. Even if you don't get skinny or muscular, it's what we evolved to do. It's to just climb and hunt. What if my tits were like that big? What if that was just my boobs? My boobs! So that's one thing that really helped me with social anxiety. And then again, honestly, gaining sexual. It looks like I'm obese. Gaining sexual and social experience helped me. And you might be like, well, if I'm so socially anxious, how do I even gain those things? Well, what I did was I just got drunk or got high. And then I just didn't give a shit about anything. That's dangerous though. I don't want anybody to become an addict or like to get date raped or something. But it worked for me. because I got to know all these people. Because I live near San Francisco. So I live like 20 miles away from San Francisco. And then I live like 15 miles away from like Silicon Valley. So I'm in this area where I can kind of just hang out with a lot of very like rich and successful people. And you might be thinking, why would rich and successful people want to hang out with you? Well, in San Francisco, a lot of the rich people are like these weird hippies who like drop acid and like take modafinil all day. In Silicon Valley too, they're just like hippie type people. Um, and so I met all these people, and I know this sounds horrible, but I was like, why? Everybody's sad, man. Even if you're not clinically depressed, like, we really aren't alone. Like, for my whole life, I thought nobody can accept me. And really, nobody has accepted me or wanted to, like, be like a long-term friend. Like, I have like two or three like actual real friends. None of them are men. So men really don't want to accept me, but I do on these like Tinder dates. It is like when you meet somebody for one day and one night, I really like I really am able to connect and relate to people, and people are able to connect and relate to me. And so I really overestimated how special or unique or weird I am, because so many people are sad. So many people have through so many traumatic things. Even these guys, these young guys, they're like 25. I'm 21. I fucking barely have enough money for like cigarettes and coffee, which not the cheapest coffee, but these guys are like 25 with these apartments in San Francisco, these crazy fucking jobs at like who knows what. They're mostly like these software guys or like these marketing guys that I meet. And they have these amazing jobs and they're so successful and they're handsome and they have like normal, nice bodies and they're friendly and they're funny, but they're sad and they're anxious and they're insecure in their masculinity and they're insecure in their looks. And it's like I could tell them to their face, like, no, you're like a beautiful person. You have a great face, great body, great job, and you seem like a nice person. You're obviously smart. And they are so sad too. And I say this to point out to you that I think a lot of our social anxiety stems from us feeling less than other people. And I've always been like too gay to be jealous of other women. Like I love women. I think women are so beautiful. I think women are just amazing. I love female musicians. Most of the women I meet, because I come at them as like another woman, they're very friendly. I think beautiful women are not threatened by me because I'm not beautiful. And so like a lot of women can be catty, but they see me and they're like, oh, she's not competition. So I connect to women very easily. But it's easy for me to see like a beautiful, like, there was this lady, I opened the door for her today. We were leaving Starbucks. She's walking behind me and she's just this beautiful, like tiny Asian woman. But you could tell she was like a great job. She had like this great suit on and like this expensive purse. She just had this beautiful hair and she's just so beautiful, like so put together. It would be easy for me to be like what am I doing with my life? She's so beautiful, she's probably so smart and competent if she has such a great job. How could I ever compete with that? But life isn't a competition. And I think it's capitalist propaganda that has conditioned us all to think that life is a competition, because it's not. Life is here just to fucking live, man. God never, the jury's still out on God, right? Like, what's the fucking point of life? I think a lot of us, we can have our path set out for us from the get-go. Like a lot of women who have kids get pregnant like 13. Obviously, you need to get your shit together, and that's your purpose in life, is to take care of that kid, right? Or like a lot of people, men or women, they can grow up with like these alcoholic or like chronically ill parents or grandparents or relatives, and so that's what they know, that what they have to do is to take care of those relatives. But otherwise, in general, nobody can tell you what to do with your life. And I know that I wouldn't be happy being a lawyer or something. So I'm not going to do that. And I know I'm not smart enough. I don't have the brain. I think I'm smart in different ways, but I don't think there's not an ounce of like analytical thinking in me. I keep trying to produce these songs. Every time I open up Ableton or even GarageBand, I'm just like, I want to die. Like, I don't want to do this. So, but So what I'm saying is all these people that would seem like they're so beautiful, they're so charismatic, they're so successful, they have so much money, they have these beautiful apartments in downtown San Francisco, and I'm going up to the 23rd floor, and this guy is so sad, and he like drinks alcohol, and it's not just him, there's so many, and there's women like this too, and I just think we're all like really struggling and suffering. Like life, there's no dignity in being a human being. You know, you can take all these beautiful women and men, and you take off all their clothes, and you take away like the makeup, and it's just we're like these gross fleshy beings. And I think very few people would look great just stripped naked. Um, like maybe like Victoria's Secret models. Even then, like the human body is just gross. Like this is infected for no fucking reason. I'm sober, so there's no reason it should be infected. So what I'm saying is that like there's no reason. I think the social anxiety comes from they're judging me because they're better than me and I am not as good as them. But none of that is real. Money isn't real. Nothing is real. And these beautiful people, I love beautiful people as much as the next one. I could stare at a beautiful man, beautiful woman all day. I mainly like beautiful men and women. I like their faces. I just like to look at a beautiful face. Who doesn't? But under that, like we are just walking digestive systems. It starts at the mouth and it ends at the asshole. It's just this tube. We're like walking tubes and we're just like protection for that tube. And then again, it's like the cliche, but if you just popped open my skull and took out my brain, yeah, I'd be this ugly bitch, but it wouldn't be me, right? Like we're all just these mushy brains with these weird things connected. And then also, if anyone has got recommended those videos of like single-celled organisms and like bacteria under microscopes and being filmed, and it's super interesting. When you think about it, think about all the cells on and in my body that are dying at this very moment. I am decaying. And so Bella Hadid, I think Bella Hadid is the most beautiful person alive. She's like near my age and she's incredibly rich and beautiful and successful. She is decaying. We are all dying. I think it's similar to like this, like the one of the meditation sort of whatever called Vipassana. Um, like we're just decaying matter, and that's really it, and everything else is fake. Like that is the one truth, is that we are dying bags of meat. And I think human beings are beautiful. So even if you're so think about it, whether or not you're conventionally beautiful or conventionally repulsive, we're fucking we're decaying, but we're also teeming with life. I mean, just in my mouth. What did I do today? I brushed my teeth, and then I drank coffee, and then I chewed gum, and then I ate cereal. So all the bacteria, there's like bacteria in my mouth and like enzymes, digestive enzymes, but like teeming with life. Think about Bella Hadid. She's so gorgeous. What does she do though? She shits. Everybody shits. Like I said, we're walking digestive systems. Even the act of like chewing food is gross. So she shits, she pisses. I assume she has a period. So just think about the most beautiful woman in the world. Once a month, blood and blood clots from her uterus just like ooze out of her vaginal canal every month. Like there's no dignity in being a human being. And you can be Warren Buffett, you can be so rich, but in the end, we're just rotting bags of meat. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's beautiful. Like I said, we're decaying, but we're also very alive. Like I feel very alive thinking about all, like on a molecular level, everything that is working together to just make all of this happen. Like in my brain, while my brain is working so that I can speak, my eyes and my heart and my lungs and my muscles to move my tongue and my like life is so beautiful. And even if I'm not the most beautiful woman alive, I just think it's so amazing. And I've been sober for like a few weeks at this point. So I think that's why people don't believe me when I say, like, I've done a shit ton of drugs. I've done every drug under the sun, except for, well, not every drug under the sun, but I don't really mess with like heroin or opioids or anything because I would be like just throwing my life in a second. I've done a lot of psychedelics, I've done a lot of stimulants. I know what it's like to feel high, but I really sometimes I do feel high on life because like I said, like I feel teeming with life. And I think I've been doing mindfulness meditation, and I think that's what it does to you. Like you just feel so alive. Like every muscle in my body. Like think about all the molecules in all these just incredibly fine and intricate hand muscles and face muscles and tongue muscles and throat muscles and eye muscles. And then like are those I don't know anything about biology. I just know that they're like germs and cells. So I don't know what makes your pupils dilate, but like that's so cool. And that's really how I cured myself. I'm just like, everyone's disgusting, but like everyone's beautiful at the same time. Money is fake, success is fake. No matter how much success you have, you're going to be a rotting corpse. No matter how much money you make, you shit and you vomit and you piss and you burp and you fart and you cry and you feel insecure. Like, that's just how I feel.